4 years ago, I was basically unemployed. A wanderer with no home. But now, I'm a husband and a father.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And today we're covering Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom.
Now, in this final DCEU movie before James Gunn took over, Arthur Curry is balancing his life as a father, husband, and king of Atlantis, which he's still not used to, according to the movie. However, Black Manta has returned with a powerful dark force that threatens to destroy both sea and surface, forcing Arthur to team up with his brother Orm to stop Manta. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notifications on future podcasts, and one of Pause videos.
Thanks for joining us today, subscribing, sharing our videos. We appreciate you so much. So this was the 2023 superhero film based on the DC Comics character Aquaman. As we mentioned, it's a sequel, and it had a budget of between 205 and 215 million, earned over 434 million at the box office. Now, they said it floundered at the box office because they didn't make as much money as the first one, but it made over double what it took to make it.
Right, so it should
how greedy do you have to be?
It's like, so every movie just has to make more than the last film you did, basically, okay? You're setting the bar way too high for your films now.
Right. It was directed by James Gunn, written and screenplay by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, and had 3 producers. So most of the stars from the first film returned, including Amber Heard, who we were told wasn't going to be brought back, but they filmed. It ran a little over 2 hours. And for some reason, this Aquaman truly brimming, I should say, with a summer vibe, was released in December.
I guess to warm up with. Oh my god.
I don't understand why these movies have a clear theme and a clear vibe for a certain season, and they always put it the opposite of what it should be released in.
Yeah.
This is another one of those movies. This should have come out in the summer.
It should have, because it definitely has a summer vibe to it. There's not a hint of snow in this entire film. Unlike other films we see, they have some Christmas or December theme to it, so you understand. No, this whole thing takes place in summer in the heat, but we're watching it in December. So I can guess that you're supposed to warm up with it.
Now what's interesting is when you see the trailer for this movie, it looks like a big fat mess. It looks like a joke. It looks like, why in the heck would anyone pay money to go see this? Good thing the trailer lied. There's no other way to put it. This actually was a pretty good movie. And it was a superhero movie. And it wasn't all about seeing Jason Momoa shirtless and parading around. It actually had a plot. It had lots of superhero action. It had a pretty good ending. And you saw he and his brother make amends and become brothers to the mother's delight. I don't know why they make these trailers that don't reflect what's happening in the movie, that are duplicates of every other trailer that comes out. I was trying to think of the word I really wanted to use, because they all have the same type of action scenes, cutaways, quick flashing movement, the same type of music. They're all just duplicates of each other.
Yeah.
And by the time you finish watching a trailer now, you don't know what the movie's about, and they don't give you any indication how the movie is itself. It's just all flash and no substance. And then you get to a movie and watch it, and you're like, the trailer's nothing like the movie.
Yeah.
And this is every studio, guys, that's in the West. Every Western studio does this now. They're all carbon copies.
Yeah. Or they do the reverse and they spoil and tell you all the twists and things in the movie. Tell you practically the entire film in one trailer, like Shyamalan.
So, if you have not seen this movie, we definitely recommend you watch it. It was a fun ride. The special effects were fantastic, very colorful, very lively, And again, you have the return of the cast we'll get to in a minute. But it was a superhero film. Unlike a lot of things that have come out from DC and Marvel recently that are jokes or comedies or don't have the superhero action and they're telling you superhero is not, and you know better.
Right.
This was actually a superhero film. And the worst part is that they destroyed this phase, and now James Gunn's starting another one, so you'll never get an Aquaman 3 with these actors playing these characters.
Pretty much.
Because the first one was pretty good, and so was the second one, and you just ruined a franchise within the studio.
Which is unfortunate because the first one gained so many fans. And the second one, right, and the second one was sort of a 50-50. Some were excited, some weren't so sure. And for some reason, the ones who did not like it, the ones who did like it got pissed at the ones who didn't. And it's like, it's a movie. It's a movie. Calm down.
Now, for some reason, this movie has been described as a buddy comedy and a bromance. No, it isn't.
Buddy comedy.
No, people. It's not a buddy comedy and it's not a bromance. That is totally unlike what this movie is. You have moments later on, again, when they forgive each other and they work to save not only Atlantis but the world. But there's no bromance.
That's between
and comedy
friends
until the end of the movie when they acknowledge their brothers, but they still go their separate ways. It's not a buddy comedy. Absolutely not.
The only part I can see them calling that is then they had this whole running joke with them where, you know, we know Orm tried to kill him, took over Atlantis, all that in the first film. But it's like, oh, that's water under the bridge. We're bros now. And he acts way more like Thor, and not in the terms of being reckless, well, I guess a little bit like that, but not to the extent where you're getting irritated. But I guess they wanted to say he was the lax brother and Orm was the uptight brother. So the whole joke kept kind of being from the time he rescued him all the way up to making amends is that, oh, dude, you gotta try this. I'm gonna take you out to eat. I'm gonna do this. It's like nothing happened. That first movie didn't happen. They didn't have the fight. He's big bro all of a sudden, and he's chill, and he wants a beer with him. He's acting like he's from Texas, and it's a little funny. I think they took that one segment where he's trying to be bros and brothers with him again, and they took the entire film,
which is not true,
because it was like that was a odd part of the film, but that wasn't the entire movie.
No, definitely not. So let's go over the cast again. You had Jason Momoa returning as Arthur Curry, Aquaman. You had Patrick Wilson as Orm, Marius, his Atlantean brother, and that's how I'm going to put it. Amber Heard, for some reason, was back as Mira. We were told she wasn't going to be there, but he claimed that some of her scenes were cut. Well, guess what? There was a heck of a lot of Mira in here.
Yeah, I kind of thought, okay, maybe
so fair warning for you. We didn't expect to see her in over half the movie, but she is. You had I'm sorry, let me get his name correct. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as David Kane, or Black Manta, who was a new character.
Right.
And he is similar to the Young Justice one from seasons 1 and 2, but his dad isn't in here?
No, I guess they don't have to connect with Aqualad coming in, so they just kind of gave someone else the Manta title altogether.
You have Randall Park as Dr. Stephen Shen. If the name is familiar, he's the new Quantum Leap guy.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren as Nereus. He had a larger role in the original version of the film, but it was reduced. Why didn't you just give Mira his role? I mean, give him Mira scenes.
Right.
You had Tamara Morrison as Thomas Curry, Martin Short as the voice of Kingfish, and Nicole Kidman, of course, as Atlanta, the mom of both the Aquaman.
Yeah, right.
You had a whole lot of other people who appeared in cameos and smaller roles. We're not going to go through them, but I will mention John Rhys Davies as the voice of the Brian King.
Yes. And that is sort of a thing in here with the fish people, or the fish citizens of Atlantis, the ones who are clearly CGI and look more fish than human, or just like fish all together and they're anthropomorphic, they tend to be voiced by some celebrities too. And a lot of the comedy comes from seeing the non-human looking Atlanteans in here. Now, granted, there were some legitimately funny parts. There were some funny parts even with Aquaman himself, some good dialogue, some good jokes. But it seemed like they kind of just treated anything that wasn't human was a fish joke, to a point where they had one that was a giant squid or an octopus. And it's one of the most skilled sleuths in Atlantis. He can sneak through everything. And he's also good at the clarinet. And it was like, we had to make that joke, didn't you?
Right. But if you haven't seen it, the movie is fun. Despite critics bashing it and saying how it was lackluster and it failed, many of them did like the chemistry between Momoa and Wilson playing brothers. But personally, the movie was fun, and I think the people who paid to see it, and it earned more than double what it took to make it, are proof that this movie succeeded in being a sequel. Again, I think we weren't expecting Amber Heard in here at all, and definitely not as much. Did she add anything to the movie? Honestly, no.
Not that much, because it was still Aquaman's movie. Yes, he had a son in here, but son didn't add much to the movie. It was just to establish that he has a family now, and that's really it.
But there was one funny scene with that baby where the baby's kidnapped, and he was trying early in the film to get him to use his, I guess, sonar.
Telepathy, yeah.
And telepathy. And the baby, when he's getting ready to be taken out by the villain, uses it and calls his dada. And he comes running. And it actually was like, look, he did it.
Yes.
And he called his dada. And that was actually fun.
Yes.
But this movie is worth seeing, especially since it's the last DCEU movie for this phase. Personally, I think it did a good job in closing out. Shouldn't have closed out. I don't know what we're going to get in this new or next phase.
Don't know.
But this is a good movie to see if you just want to finish off the DCEU because you're a fan or because you've seen all the other movies.
Right.
So if you've seen Aquaman 2,
let us know what you think in the comments below.
The Lost Kingdom. I was like, I was going to go The Last Kingdom because the last movie, The Lost Kingdom. Yes. And if you haven't, we recommend you watch it. I'm sure it's on some streaming service. We got to see it on demand for free.
Yes, actually. Oh, no, wait. We got it from the library,
Sorry,
didn't we?
you can get it from your local library. You can probably see it on some streaming service. I'm sure you can buy it. But go to your library, get it, watch it, come back, tell us what you think.
And if you don't already subscribe for updates, it will give you for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And just like this movie, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And thank you so much for subscribing, sharing videos, commenting, and so much more. As always,
You are special. Thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
The Mon Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.